The total population of the world exceeds 7.71 billion people. 1.5 billion of them speak English. However, most of the people are not native English speakers. About 360 million people speak English as their first language. In addition to being widely spoken, English is by far the most commonly studied foreign language in the world. In Mongolia, a large number of people speak English as a second or foreign language. In public schools, English language lessons are taught starting in 5th grade. Hello there, welcome to Sightline. Today we have an English language teacher, Ms. Narmandakh. She got license from Oxford International and also Chamber of Commerce of United Kingdom. Hello, Ms. Narmandakh.
Hello.
First of all, I would like to ask about how did you got the license from the UK, and also I would like to ask that there are many chances for Mongolian language, English language teachers to get the licenses from the international organizations.
To answer these questions, first of all, I would like to say one thing is that actually I'm a zootechnician, zoologist. As the democracy came to Mongolia, there was a much need to learn English, and English languages needed to spread nationwide. And in that case, I have changed my profession, and I got, since that time, 1998, I got an English language teacher. Since that time, I worked in higher education field, and so in my experience, I have had lots of difficulties to teach, either to teach English, and also I have seen that our learners had much difficulties to learn English. So in order to pass these difficulties, teachers should be challenged, teachers should be responsible, and every time teachers should think, how can we improve our English teaching skills? I have studied several courses and certificate. I got a certificate. At the end, last year, I have thought that I need to study in the UK. Actually, lately I have been interested in UK education, especially in English language field, and so I applied to Oxford International of UK in London, and so I passed lots of exams, and I have, at last I got an invitation, and I studied there for about 4 weeks. And how can I teach to learners English language, and how is the attitude to teach English and to learn the learner's attitude? And so it means that contemporary methodology is needed to adapt from UK. At the moment, I have thought all of our teachers should should go to abroad and to improve their skills. So it was the chance to check ourselves, to check myself, how my English teaching skills, how my knowledge about English language education is. So it was much more challenging for me.
Yes, of course.
To study there, yes.
And comparing yourself with other international teachers.
Yes. Teachers, I have, one of the main things that even though teachers should have only the teaching skills, but also we should have more knowledge. So it was much more challenging. We should think from that side.
What do you think about the possibilities of studying in the international organizations or got the license for other Mongolian English language teachers?
So,
is it possible for them?
Yes, before that, once I have gone to Turkish, one of the leading university, Middle East Technical University in Turkey. I have had one experience to teach there, and so since that time in 1915, I thought that since that time I thought that we have some chance to go to abroad and to teach internationally. We should have some more challenge, some more possibility to be the internationally recognized teachers, not only nationwide, but also we should go internationally recognized. We should be internationally recognized.
Now let's talk about your research work. It was really interesting about the pragmatic linguistics, and also to be thankful for the Mongolian and also in English language. And can you tell us more about your research work, please?
Yes. Although I have had lots of experience in my English education field, but my research work is in a pragmatics field. I have defended my PhD in 2010. The dissertation topic was expressing gratitude in Mongolian and English. Actually, English about American, it was about talking about how Americans express their thanks and gratitude, how
to
Mongolians, to the language, how Mongolians express their gratitude in the language. And so I just compare it to those nationalities and how can they express their gratitude. Before I did my research, I was thinking, my thought was very different. I was thinking that Mongolians never express their gratitude, just never say thanks or something like that. But it was very different. At the end of my research, my thought was changed because Mongolians, I have seen that differences and similarities between those two nations when they express their gratitude.
It was really
Actually,
interesting.
yes, expressing gratitude verbally, non-verbally. Yes, the difference was that Mongolians express their gratitude more non-verbally.
Really?
Mimic, the kind of, yes, non-verbally. Americans express their gratitude more verbally. It means that depending on their social, lots of things.
What do you think? It depends from the culture or the, for example, climate?
Yes, it depends lots of things, culture, society, yes, labor. Mongolians more nomadic, had a nomadic life. They are just centralized. Yes, very different nations, very different things. There are many things. Depending on many things, just expressing gratitude is. Now the Mongolians' lifestyle is changing. Also, the expressing gratitude way is changing. For example, we always need to say that thanks, Bayrala, something like that. So, many years ago, the lifestyle was different. Of course, expressing gratitude was different, little bit different. It's getting differently. It's, yes, getting more similarities to other countries which has the centralized development. Yes.
At the beginning of our interview, we mentioned about the pragmatics of linguistics. What is it in language?
Yes, I'm a member of International Pragmatics Association. Once 2 years, I always go to abroad and to give our speech and something like that. Actually, pragmatics is one of the field of linguistics which focus more on how can we use the utterances, how can we use the words and some sentences. For example, thank you has the topic that I have researched means that thank you has not only one function, it has lots of functions, some ironic, some lots of, in different ways we use this word. So it means that in what case the person's, what word is needed to be used, something like that. Is how can we use the language? It's the field.
And what is the specific of Mongolians in pragmatic linguistics? For example, we are not centralized. We have the nomadic lifestyle. And how is it influences to our language?
Yeah, of course, it's very important. Of course, everybody who speaks language, they never thought. Just that they just, without thinking, they use the languages. So if we grow in these fields, developed in Mongolia, of course it can be the more theoretically developed this field. It is just, I think that when I defended my PhD in 2010, they said I'm just one of the pioneers in this field. So means that this field is getting, to compare the other fields, it's a kind of young field in Mongolian.
And developing so fast.
Developing so fast. It's getting more and more people are defending the PhD and master thesis in this field. It's getting more and more.
What do you think about the talent to learn the language actually for Mongolians? I think many people say that Mongolians are really talented for studying languages. For example, Russians say that Mongolians are speaking Russian very very well and without any accent?
Yes, theoretically, even though people say that it's theoretically kind of a proved thing, is that Mongolians have more experience, more talent to study other foreign languages. So I'm thinking that from that case, I'm thinking that Mongolians not only don't have to spend more time on learning English. So our experience is that since 2004, we have opened a program in English language translation for the persons who has already got their bachelor degree. So far we have had about more than 4,000 students who finished our course. And so our main purpose is that for a short time we need to prepare globally competitive, transferable professionals. So I think that maybe we don't have to worry. We have teachers, we have methodology, we have resources, and we have about 20 years experience. And so lots of students think that how can I study English, how can I learn English? So we don't need to worry about many things. So I think that's comparably, it is kind of, the problem is kind of from day to day, it's been solved. Yeah.
What do you think about the learning in English in a bachelor's degree or in a master's degree for Mongolian universities, for example, Mongolian National University and other national universities? But do you think that in many majors, in many professions, students have to learn the English language actually?
Yes. In the era of globalization now, present day, everybody, for example, you need to have more English language skills. Our university's curriculum says that about 3 or 4 credit hours they are teaching. 3 or 4 credit hours is taught in university, majority of the university. It's not enough.
Okay, in the UK, in European countries, only 10% teach only teachers.
Yes.
And what about Mongolia? How many percent are
kind
teaching?
of opposite, kind of.
Really?
I can say that maybe. It depends, but kind of opposite. I can say that. We should change our
And you say that it was wrong, that teachers
yes,
are doing 90%.
Teachers know, but we can't practice it. Teachers, all the teachers know that students should work more and more. Teachers work less and less, but we don't practice, we don't follow this principle. So it means that.
Okay,
so
then this type of method is not adapted for the students, not for teachers.
Yes. Yeah.
What should students do to get this type of adaptation?
Students should be active, active in their classroom. They think that they need to follow the teacher. What should the teacher say? They watch and they listen, and they should be active. They can argue, they can discuss, they can create, they can talk in their classrooms. They should walk and they should motivate. They should be very active. So I think that they are the teachers themselves, to themselves. Yeah.
What do you think about our Mongolian curriculum system? Is it possible for students to do this method by using our Mongolian curriculum system?
Yes, from that point of view, I think that maybe just our curriculum
really
content
difficult.
is more and more. So teachers think that I need to teach this content, these things. So depending on their time management, just the teachers sometimes push themselves and just say, talk, and so the students listen. And kind of inactive method is being more used in our classroom, and so it is one of the difficulties and problems to,
yes, that's it.
to be the active learners. Yeah.
As I mentioned before, now we are living in 21st century, and our world is globalizing, and the most useful language in nowadays is English. And what do you think about our Mongolians need to learn the English language actually, and how we can learn English language for our youth? Do you have something to tell to our youth?
Yes,
please?
of course, there are several things to talk about, to learn either from the side to learn English and to teach English. But I'm just thinking that if the person who really thinks that I need to learn English, so it's the main thing is that to define their ambition very clearly. If the person who has got their ambition clearly, they don't need many things to be taught or something like that. So in that case, I'm always says that to my students, you should work hard, you should define your ambition clearly and kind of goal. Yes, what goal they have. According to their goal, they should define, they can find their way of learning English. So not depending on the location, not depending on the time, we can study English. So for example, if some person need to learn words, they don't have to sit in the library, in the room, or just on the way in a bus. Just practice is needed also. The main thing is that time management, very important, yes, to be very principled. Yeah.
And what do you think, in which step Mongolians are really struggle to learn language? The environment, background, or the university curriculum system? What is the most struggle for Mongolian youth to study English?
Since the democracy came to compare the 1990s, we don't have much more struggle with learning English. So it really depends on the person. Yeah, they really need to organize themselves. Very important. It's very important.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our interview is going to end, and I would like to leave the last minute to you. If you have something to mention, if you have something you didn't say, it's your moment.
I think world is open to everybody, so you should just open your eyes to the world and to be internationally globalized, global person. We need really just our, how can I say, we should just open our eyes to the world, and we should just manage ourselves. We should define our ambition very clearly. Just this, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Thank you for accepting our
Thank
request.
you. Thank you.
That's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We hope you enjoyed our interview. See you next time. Bye-bye.